I'm very excited to be talking about one of my favorite topics when it comes to essential oils, which is basically recipes to make over your medicine cabinet. So for those of you who are just starting to watch tonight for the first time, we've already done a class on getting started with your kit on essential oils and CBD. We did the business opportunity of Young Living, and then we've also done, tonight we're doing recipes to make over your medicine cabinet. Next week, we'll be doing essential oils and healthy home. And then finally, to complete this series, we're going to be doing essential oils and pets. So here we go. My name is Jade, for those who don't know me, and I'm super passionate about empowering moms with the knowledge of how to embark on a wellness journey, caring for their family using natural and plant-based products. So again, the reason why this topic for me is one of the most important and the most special is because this is actually what led me to be using Young Living and learning how to use it appropriately on my kids and my family. And so that is, like, for me, the most important thing. Okay, so now I want to go over our class for tonight. I've already done my introduction. I do touch on what essential oils are because some people are brand new. I'm going to talk about how they work, some safety guidelines and dilutions, and then specific applications and recipes. And then finally, we'll end off with a recap. So essential oils are a lifeblood of a plant, okay? It's job of the essential oils to protect and strengthen a plant. Each one is unique and it's a volatile fluid. They're all adaptogenic. They're antiviral, antifungal, antiseptic, and antibacterial. So you can imagine lots of amazing good uses. They're extracted from all different parts of the plant. It absolutely depends where they are the most nutrient dense. And so that's another thing where and why I love Young Living is they figure out exactly where the most nutrient-rich part of the plant is, and that is where they distill from. So it sometimes comes from the roots, the leaves, could be the bark or the seeds. And we use low heat steam distillation or resin tapping. That's so important because if you add too much heat, you actually start losing the benefits and the properties of the oil. They are tiny in size. Each drop has 40 million trillion molecules. So they're extremely concentrated. And just for you to know, they're about 70 times stronger than the herbs you're finding in your garden. So how quickly do essential oils? Well, in 22 seconds, the molecules can reach the brain. In 2 minutes, they'll be found in the bloodstream. In 20 minutes, they'll affect every cell in the body. And, how is that possible? Well, their tiny size and our inherent human receptors make them the perfect natural medicine. So they're able to cross this blood-brain barrier. Whereas, traditional medication, by the way, can't do that. So it gets stopped at that point. All right, so there are 3 methods of use, and there's different schools of thought of, which method people follow. There's the English method, the German method, and the French. So, the English and the German actually limit to either using essential oils topically or aromatically only. We follow the French method, which incorporates all 3. And of course, when we use essential oils internally, we're doing it with caution, and we are following recipes, and we're making sure that we're doing things low and slow when we're just getting started. So aromatic use is using your diffuser or even making an aromadome where you drop in an essential oil in your hands, rub it together, and breathe in. Topical use is where we're making a roller. So you would take your roller and, roll it where it hurts, as an example, if you had a headache or a temperature, and that's how we're using it on our body. We like to say that using these oils topically is kind of like having a pocket pharmacy. So you can take it to go. My little purse with my essential oils is in, it's always handy. I have something for insect bites. I have something for headaches. I have my period pain roller with me. I have my headache roller, and sometimes I interchange and I use the same one for both. So that also helps your essential oils to last much longer. And then our oils are safe for internal use. And so we have a vitality range over here in the United States, which is basically showing you which oils are safe for internal use. But the important piece here is that lemon that has a vitality label and the lemon that is not in a vitality label are the exact same oil inside. This is purely an FDA law that they have, that you cannot label one bottle with all 3 of these methods. You cannot say it's safe for aromatic, topical, and internal use. So they insisted that Young Young Living created a vitality range. So South Africa is still working on getting the licensing for that. But I can tell you, based on the fact that I'm here in the United States, we use these safely internally. And so, yeah, they are safe for internal use. There's about 49 essential oils within Young Living that are safe for internal use. So it's just a learning curve to know and understand which ones are. Okay, so why Young Living? There's so many essential oils. You can literally walk into Discam and see essential oils on the shelves. Well, Young Living is the only company that goes beyond organic cultivation. So they have been using native farming practices for over 25 years. So they have tons of experience and they believe in having positive energy. I mean, truly every person that works in every department within Young Living, and I have been lucky enough to go to different farms, to see what they're doing, to learn from the farmers, to the people in the labs, to the people. It's incredible. And everyone who does their job is so passionate about what they do. Yeah, it's fascinating. And we kind of joke, we're like, well, there's something in the water in this place, but it's because everyone is respected for their expertise and they are hired on with the same goal that Young Living has for everything, which is profit for a purpose. And that is what the whole belief and ideology, it was all founded by Gary Young, who very much believed in healing people, and his goal and intention was, let's get these essential oils into as many homes as possible to help people to heal so that they can actually feel empowered and use the power of these plants. He also made sure that nothing is ever compromised. So super important, our harvesting and distillation practices, they follow the correct time. Something like cypress oil, it was discovered that if you distill that at like 26 hours, you lose about 100 of the constituents of that oil. But when you distill it at exactly 25 hours, you get absolutely all of the constituents. So little things like those details get taken into account. So the correct time is super important. It's a slow process. They use low heat and one-time distillation only, meaning they are so potent. So I can guarantee you, any other essential oil company is actually doing third, fourth, fifth time distillations. And basically what that means is they're adding in, more water and just letting it go through again and again and again. So what you're getting is a diluted version of that essential oil. And they do this to mass produce. So we never do that. We don't compromise on quality, which is why our oils are extremely potent and you need to use far less. They are 100% pure. We have what's called a seed to seal quality commitment or a promise. We're the only company that owns our own farms. We believe in very much a transparent, open door policy. This is why I can tell you that I've been to 3 different farms, Young Living farms, and they are amazing to be a part of, to actually see how they choose non-GMO seeds. So from the time the seeds are chosen till the time they are bottled and sealed, every single piece of that process, from harvesting to cultivation to testing, it's all done in-house. The only thing is we do bring third-party testers because it would be pretty biased to say, we just tested this lavender oil and it comes out great. So we do bring in third-party testers to confirm that what we're giving is absolutely the best quality. Okay, so dilution ratios for kids. We're going to jump right there and talk about some safety guidelines. So 6 months to 1 year, we want to dilute 4 times the label recommendation. The rule of thumb here is 1 drop of essential oil for every 50 drops of carrier oil. So what is carrier oil? It's most of the oils we find in our kitchen. It's grapeseed oil, MCT oil, it is avocado oil, olive oil. All of those are actually considered carrier oils, and with time, you will learn the ideal ones to use across the board. My favorite is MCT oil, which you can get at Discam or at Clicks. Then, I said my favorite. My real favorite is actually Young Living's one, which is called V6. It's a vegetable oil complex, but second to that is going to be MCT oil. And then we learn little things like, oh, if I'm using it for acne and pimples on my face, I'm going to switch to jojoba oil because it's non-comedogenic. Non-comedogenic. Oh my gosh, I'm like not speaking very well tonight. But anyway, it doesn't clog pores. So 2 years to 5 years, you would dilute 3 times the label recommendation, and then 5 years to 10 years diluted 2 times the label recommendation. So please know, everything I say to you tonight, whatever I talk about here with you guys, is all based on my personal experience. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not here trying to diagnose anyone or prescribe anyone or treat anything or cure diseases. I'm not trying to replace the services of a licensed healthcare provider or physician. All right, so the recipes we'll cover tonight that I have used on my family and have seen great success with have everything to do with immunity, colds and coughs, head woes, digestion and stomach, allergies and asthma, calm and sleep, and healthy skin repair. Please know that a lot of the times the terminology we use, I'm trying to be compliant. So I'm trying to make sure that I am, again, speaking from experience and not saying this will cure a fever blister as an example. We'll cover that topic in a bit, but instead I have used this and it's absolutely helped. Okay, so immunity recipes. Right now everyone is wearing masks, so this picture has a mask, and this is actually our thieves bottle. So we've gone and repurposed that. Everyone in the oily community is very into recycling and being sustainable. This is actually one of Young Living's plans as well. We have a 5x5 pledge, and we're basically working towards a zero waste company. So we like to be kind to our planet and never ever throw out our empty bottles. So over here, all you need is an empty bottle of a Thieves. You can even use an empty bottle of a lemon 15 ml. You can add 6 drops of Thieves essential oil, 3 drops of lemon essential oil, a tiny splash of witch hazel. We always need witch hazel when we're making a spray. Why? Because oil and water don't really mix. And so this acts as an astringent to get them to mix. Now you don't need to shake it like crazy, but just like an up, down, give it a little shake will be perfect. And then you can spray it on your mask, and that's it. All you need to do before leaving home. I keep one of these in my car and one in my purse, and I actually use it anytime that I'm going out. And when I return to my car, I spray it on my hands so that I'm using my own natural sanitizer, if you will. Another immunity booster is our Ningxia Red. This stuff is incredible. It is a powerful superfood drink with wolfberry puree. It's grown in the Ningxia province in China. By the way, it's a blue zone for those of you who know about those. That is where you have people that are centennials. So they're living to 100 years old or older. Their lifestyle is very active. They're not getting as sick. They are living long, healthy lives. So that is what a blue zone is considered. And this is where Ningxia Red comes from. So it is very rich with a wide spectrum of antioxidant activity. It is safe for all ages, even pregnant women. So yes, I would give this to a baby, absolutely safe and fine. I'd say 6 months on. It energizes, and for a 6-month-old, I'd give half a packet. It energizes and fortifies and replenishes the body. So the best way to see it is, sorry, that's my coffee machine that's on its own mission. The best way to understand that is it replaces whatever is like missing in the body. Honestly, a lot of us take this instead of a multivitamin in a day, just because of how powerful the antioxidant properties are. So we say it has the highest levels of naturally occurring age-defying S-auric activity to help support the immune function, cardiovascular health, and nourish the eyes. Contains flavorful and health-supporting essential oils. It's got orange, yuzu, lemon, and tangerine. Lots of diabetics ask if it's safe for diabetics. Yes, it is. There is a small amount of grams of sugar. So what you need to do is, as a diabetic, how many grams you can have in a day. Just subtract that from how many you can take in a day. But this is going to be a treat that is well worth having, because it is a delicious treat that is super healthy for your body. So I give this to my family every day. And it also has 93% D-limonene, which is a powerful antioxidant. It's always hard to read this when this thing pops up. And a marker for bioactivity. Okay, so the other really cool fact about Ningxia Red is that it is grown with water from the glaciers, and the earth that it has got lava rock. So it is getting so much high frequency. This is why it is one of the highest S-auric activities, meaning that it is such a rich superfood, and definitely the best sourced wolfberries that you can get in the world. Okay, so here is that V6 vegetable oil complex, the carrier oil that I was talking to you guys about. And this is going to be some of the recipes to make for roller bottles. This is using essential oils topically. So this one is a wellness roller. I still have this bottle in my house. I just reuse it all the time. So this bottle you're seeing right here is at home and gets used under my kids' feet every day before they leave the house. So they already know to sit on the stair that we have before putting on socks and shoes or flip-flops through the seasons. We use this once a day. And during cold and flu season, I increase it to 2 times a day. So the recipe that I have here is for children. And please know, for an adult, you can actually pretty much do this recipe times 3. So whatever amount of drops you're reading here, times it by 3. So it would be 15 drops of purification, 15 drops of thieves, 9 drops of frankincense, you know, even 6 drops of lemon is actually fine. Then you can put 3 drops of oregano, which we say optional, but I think that is everything in our wellness roller, because oregano for me is the natural antibiotic in the plant and herb world. And then you fill it with an organic carrier oil of your choice. So again, the recipe that you see in front of you is for kids, but also if you are just getting started, I recommend that you follow this recipe for the first time with that roller. Next time you can double it, and then the next time you can actually triple it, and then stop there. You don't need to add more. So this one, if you're feeling kind of miserable, swollen glands, etc., for adults, we roll it under our feet. You can do it down your spine, and that is all. That's actually plenty. And you can do it up to 3 times a day if you're not feeling great. For preventative, once a day is perfect. You can do it before you get into your bed at night, and again, by your spine or under your feet. Why in those areas? Well, we have the largest pores under our feet, and thieves is a hot oil. So that means, no, it's not hot and it's not going to burst in flames. But if you put that meat, meaning undiluted, on your skin, it starts to feel like it's burning. So this is why we must dilute that essential oil, and we must keep it away from our hands that touch and would touch our face and such. So very important for little ones that we're putting it under their feet. Okay. Next one, thieves tea. This is actually me relaxing, having a thieves tea. I think I have it every single night. It's my best. So it tastes amazing. You want to put a tablespoon of honey into a mug, and then you want to add 1 drop of thieves vitality, 2 drops of lemon vitality. The reason I'm saying vitality here is so that you guys know that I have to tell you which oils are safe for internal use. But again, if you have the thieves like the one pictured, and you have the lemon like the one pictured, which most of you do, because that's how it is in South Africa, yes, you can use the same ones. Remember, same oil is in that bottle. So you're going to add warm water, and you can stir and enjoy. Now, if I was going to give this to my 18-month-old who wasn't feeling well, then I'm going to halve this. So I will make it the normal way. I pour half out, I drink that, and then for this kid's sippy cup, or however I'm giving it to them, I add double the amount of water. So in other words, it's now half a cup. I now go and add another half cup of water, and I add a little bit more honey. If there's any issues with honey, go ahead and use agave or maple syrup. So sometimes people say, oh, well, I have a 10-month-old and I can see that they're starting to get sick. Then I tell them, let's dilute it in thirds. So just 1/3 of regular thieves tea, and of course, no honey. So you're going to do maple syrup or agave instead, and then add, you know, 2/3 of water and a little bit sweeter for them. All right, so flu bomb. This for me is what I like to call the husband converter, meaning so many of our husbands are so skeptical about essential oils. But when they don't feel well and they wake up miserable, because we all know what it's like to see the man flu, because they're such babies when it comes to sickness, this will absolutely change their thinking when it comes to using essential oils for, you know, sickness. So this right here is only when I wake up and I feel very swollen glands. In the past, this would have been my indicator, okay, I'm probably going to head to the doctor to go and get an antibiotic. This for me has completely done the job of what an antibiotic would have. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to diagnose. If you feel more comfortable, go right ahead. But I just want to mention to you that this is what we do in my house, and no one has been on antibiotics since we've had oils, which is 3.5 years. So you want to take a capsule. This is a size 00 capsule. You can get them at a health food store, but you can also buy Young Living's one. You open it up, you add 4 drops of thieves, 3 drops of oregano, super important. That's the one that's acting as an antibiotic. 2 drops of frankincense, 2 drops of lemon. You're going to add some oil. And for these that I take internally, I add olive oil. I find that it just digests better and it sits in my stomach better. You close the capsule and you're going to take that twice a day. Okay. Don't do it for more than 3 days. It's not necessary anyway. So that is called our flu bomb, and something that me and my husband are doing. Now, I will say off the record, I have a 7-year-old. She has no issues taking a capsule. So if I know that that kid is really looking miserable, not doing well, I literally give her 1 drop of thieves, 1 drop of oregano, and 1 drop of frank, 1 of lemon, add olive oil, and I have her take that just once a day. And I have no issues with that. She is completely turned around and been perfectly fine the next day. All right, so other immunity recipes, we kind of call this our throat coat. So you can take purification and you do 1 drop in the palm of your hand, put it on the outside of your neck. Little side note, this happens to be a photosensitive oil. That's another important term. It means it will attract the sun. So I know it's still cold in South Africa, but you do want to be mindful about using this and then being exposed to sunlight. So in general, use it and stay indoors, or use it at night, okay? This also happens to be the oil that's great for pigmentation. So use it at night and then use a sunblock in the daytime. So another idea for a throat coat is a 50 ml spray bottle with 10 drops of frankincense, 10 drops of Thieves Vitality, 5 drops of tea tree, 4 drops of lemon, and 1 teaspoon of MCT oil. Fill it with water, shake before use, and spray it inside the throat. Again, I just want to mention to you that we have a Young Living Thieves spray, which is, it's meant for spraying your shopping cart, spraying a surface. But because our stuff is non-toxic, you can, and I have used that as a throat spray. I've literally turned it to the side, sprayed 1 spray in my throat, and it numbs it, it kills germs, and I feel much better. So of course, it cannot be labeled on there, okay to use for throats, because sadly, compliancy, we cannot do that. But I'm telling you, I have used it. I'm alive to tell the tale, and it's worked amazingly well. All right, so blister bye-bye, what we mean is a fever blister. Those of us that get those during sick, cold, and flu season and stress, you can just take 1 drop of Thieves and use it neat on the lip. The other option is, if you're feeling like your body's just fighting an infection, 1 drop of oregano vitality, or just your oregano oil, in a capsule with olive oil for 3 days, twice a day. Temperatures, and by the way, this is why, please send me your full name, your email address, and whether or not you are a member, because I will send you these recipes so you get to look through it again and take notes and keep this for yourself. So this essential oil is what, for me, changed and rocked my world. So my 16-month-old had unexplainable temperatures for 10 days straight, during which time she had a febrile seizure, during which time we had her checked head to toe. We did ER visits to do blood work, etc. Nothing was ever found, thank God, but also frustrating because I didn't know what was wrong. And I was just told, you need to use painkillers every 4 hours. You need to alternate because you have to prevent her having a febrile seizure again. So I decided to look for something different and an alternative. Learned about essential oils in a therapeutic way, because yes, I used to use some rubbishy lavender in some cutesy looking diffuser, and then learned how not every oil is created equally. So I knew I needed to find the absolute best to be able to use it on my daughter. And this is also why Young Living is set up the way it is, because when you get a starter kit, you get an oily guru who's going to hold your hand and help you and teach you how to use everything. So what I did for her, so simple, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil in a carrier, a 10 ml roller bottle, add carrier oil. And I tell people when it comes to temperatures, think of the letters T-O. So T on the back, you do it across the neck, down the spine, and an O, you circle the belly. That's it. So with the temperature, we need to work on the core to lower the fever, and you can put this under feet as well. I just want to say I did this, it worked, and now I've been using these for 3.5 years. She was 16 months, had this issue. She is now 5 years old. We've never had a febrile seizure again, ever, and we have never had to use painkillers, ever. So the stuff works. But here is a good recipe. This recipe right here is probably for a 5-year-old. If they're under 5, I would just do 1 drop of peppermint and 1 drop of frankincense to start. So you're going to do, 2 drops of peppermint, 2 drops of frank. If it's for an adult, I would say 8 drops of peppermint and 8 drops of frankincense. A teaspoon of coconut oil. Drop all the oils in your palm of your hand. Mix it with that coconut oil and then rub it down the spine and around the navel. Again, I chose to have that roller bottle so that I would have it on hand if and when they got sick. So colds and cough, breathe easy. RC is known for respiration, cough, cold, congestion. It happens to be the promo oil that's given to you guys if and when you spend 100 PV. PV equals product value. So if you spend that amount this month with Young Living, you get given this amazing, incredible oil for free. And this is for all things to do with breathing well. So you would do a roller bottle. This is an adult recipe. 12 drops of RC, 8 drops of lemon, 8 drops of purification. Fill it with carrier oil and roll it on the chest. This is if you're coughing or you have a lot of chest congestion. This is going to be great for that. Honestly, just diffusing RC in a diffuser. Again, I can only share with you as a parent that has done this. I had a child who had croup and it was so bad one time. I had to give her steroids. Those things were awful. She acted and behaved so weirdly, so strange. I actually could not have her use it again. And then she got it again when I knew and learned about essential oils. So her first instance of it, we didn't use essential oils. I just used 2 drops of RC in her diffuser, 100%. The kid was not barking like a dog. Okay, so here is that said kid, Mika, my little daughter. You can make your own chest rub. So I did this for my kids. Sadly, things like Vicks and other products are really, really toxic. So it's so empowering to know that we can make our own stuff and replace what we have. So this is a chest rub ointment. When we're making ointments, we're using the cold pressed coconut oil. That's the one that solidifies in winter and goes like liquid in summer. The reason we don't use that in a roller bottle is it would coagulate and clog, right? So we don't want that. We need it to stay liquid all the time. But for a chest rub, we actually want it to be more of an ointment. So you would take half a cup of cold pressed organic coconut oil. You can mix it with a fork or an electric mixer. I've done it with a fork. Then once it's kind of soft, I make a little well. I drop in 10 drops of peppermint, 10 drops of Melrose, 10 drops of bergamot, and 10 drops of RC. Now, another thing to note is it's absolutely fine, even if you only have RC and peppermint, just use those. No big deal. It will still work. Okay, this one is purification for sore ears. I've had someone say to me, my kid keeps getting ear infections. It's also really common with little ones. And what can I do? She's like, no joke, I'm definitely going to have to go to the pediatrician tomorrow. So I said, okay, well, let's try. So what we did is 1 drop of purification on a cotton wool ball, and you gently place it like on the ear or like just inside there where you'd have an earbud, and you just relax with that for about an hour or so. So this kid did not need the pediatrician and did not get their typical ear infections. It's completely helped them, and so they don't suffer from that anymore. Another idea is 1 drop of tea tree oil around the outside of ear. I will mention to you guys something that I've done at home that I love, and I think it works so well, is you take a clove of garlic, you cut it in 2 places, you heat it in a bit of olive oil on a pan, then you let it cool down. So essentially you've got garlic infused olive oil, you let that cool, and that you can actually put like 5 drops in a child's ear or in your ear. We never put essential oils in our ear or in our eye or in any orifice for that matter. So we only put this on the outside of our ear or on a cotton wool ball on just that part of the ear. All right, so moving on, head woes. This would be like a headache, adults. So for head tension, a 10 milliliter roller bottle, you need 10 drops of Panaway, 10 drops of Valor, 8 drops of Copaiba, 8 drops of peppermint, fill it with carrier oil, and then you would just put that on the temples. Now, be careful with this one, because if peppermint goes too close to the eye or gets in the eye, it burns. And if ever you get essential oils in any place or part and it actually feels like it's burning, 1, don't panic. 2, Go and grab any carrier oil that you can find. I don't care which one it is, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Grab whatever you have in the kitchen and use that to dilute the essential oil out. Do not go to soap and water. It's not going to get it out, okay? It's just going to spread it and make it worse. So this one is body aches recipe. Deep relief is amazing. So in this picture, you can see that is called an aroma glide roller fitment. These are sold within Young Living. You get a pack of 10. They are amazing. It actually has a patent on that rollerball fitment because it doesn't leak. So you can literally just pop that onto your deep relief bottle, or you can make your own deep relief rub for body aches, which is like 20 drops of deep relief, half a cup of cold pressed organic coconut oil, mix it with a fork. Okay, here's some stuff for digestion and stomach. Digest is going to be the best essential oil for this. So to use it topically in a 10 ml roller bottle, 15 drops of Digest, 10 drops of peppermint, fill it with carrier oil. This is an adult recipe. For a child, I would do 8 to 10 drops of Digest, and I would do about 5 drops of peppermint. And you really want to start with one swipe. Another cool little tip is if you have diarrhea, you want to put it and roll it on your belly anti-clockwise. It's kind of like a faucet or a tap. You're trying to say, stop the leaking. If you have constipation, you want to turn the tap on. So you want to roll it clockwise to help things move along. Now, for me personally, I could not be without Digest oil. It's in my purse all the time because we say that honestly, if you eat food, you need Digest, and we all eat food. So I just went and worked out with a friend, and she said, ugh, I feel like I ate too much and too quickly. Like, try this Digest. She did. 1 drop under her tongue, had like 1 burp, and felt completely different, totally fine. So another way is you can make a capsule of this, 1 to 2 drops of Digest with 1 to 2 drops of peppermint, fill it with olive oil as the carrier oil. All right, allergies. So this is we call it LLP, lavender, lemon, peppermint. And the cool thing with this is you can diffuse this, you can make a capsule with this and take it internally, and you can make a roller. So you can use it for all 3 because all 3 of these essential oils are actually safe for internal use. So if we're using it aromatically, meaning I'm just getting all bothered and watery eyes and sneezy, and this is definitely the season for it because I know it's still cold, but as you move in more and more into spring, there's more pollen and things. So 2 drops of lavender, 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of peppermint in your diffuser, or you can go ahead and make a roller bottle with 10 drops of each and fill it with some carrier oil. If you're doing a capsule, 1 drop of each of those in a capsule with olive oil. Again, you don't need them to be the Vitality. Your same lavender without this label is the same lavender as what's in this one, okay? Oh, and by the way, can you see in that last picture, my olive oil, I actually decanted and put it into a dropper bottle. It's much easier to fill the capsules. All right, so sleep recipes. We have one for sweet slumber. 4 drops of white angelica is so lovely in a diffuser. By the way, it helps with nightmares as well. And you can use this neat, 1 drop applied to the temples. Here's some other ones for sleeping well. 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of cedarwood. And again, topically, 1 to 2 drops of lavender applied to the bottoms of feet. Whatever's left on your hands, just move that over your pillow. That's always really nice too. Then we have oils for emotional support too. So this one, we call it Happy Heart. This is kind of the antidepressant in the oil world. And you can make a roller, a 10 ml roller bottle with 10 drops of joy, 10 drops of orange, fill it with carrier oil. You can roll it between your hands before use, and you apply it to your heart with happy intentions. I also like all emotional oils I put on my hands and behind my ears. Okay, a skin soother. This is if you get burned from the sun, which as we move into summer, you guys are probably going to have. So to get a 50 ml spray bottle, put 10 drops of lavender, 5 drops of peppermint, that's going to be cooling. Now we're going to add, the witch hazel as usual, because it's a spray, and a tablespoon of aloe vera. That's really calming and cooling. Fill it with water, shake before use. A great one to have if you're in the sun. So how do you get these things? So to get Ningxia Red, we actually do have a really nice kit available. It's priced at 1,472 Rand and it's valued at 2,120 Rand. So it's a fantastic value for the money. You get 30 of these Ningxia Red sachets, and it also comes with orange, peppermint, and lemon. Then the premium starter kit for me is the absolute best value for money. This is how I got started, and it's actually 2,268 Rand, and then you pay shipping. Shipping right now is 90 Rand. It comes with an ultrasonic dewdrop diffuser and 10 of the most versatile and useful essential oils, including lavender, lemon, peppermint, frank, orange, eucalyptus, which is good for breathing, citronella, good to get rid of bugs, also good as an anti-inflammatory. Thieves is our immunity oil. Valor is amazing for sleep, for calming, for feelings of being brave. That's why it's called Valor, and I use that as a perfume. It smells so good. And then purification is like, for me, all things infection. So these are like the best-selling oils. A lot of the recipes, I just want to give credit to this book, Oil and Glass. It's such a great book. We do have them available in South Africa. You can reach out and ask me if you do want it. Well, we did, but a new shipment should be coming soon. You can let me know and I can try and arrange to get one to you. So yeah, I try to take like pre-orders for that and help you guys to get this. I got this book and I went through it, flagged all the pages that I wanted to make, spent 2 hours one night, and I had a chest rub, a fever reducer roller. I mean, I had all the things that I wanted to have in my house, and that became my new medicine cabinet. So yeah, it's been amazing. Okay, and so the resources we have for you guys, anyone who is part of our team, Hello Essentials, we have a Facebook group. It's a private online community of oily friends and resources. It's called Hello Essentials South Africa. And then we have a bigger one called Hello Essentials, which is global. It has about almost 40,000 people in there. It's active, so you can ask your questions. You can also look up thousands upon thousands of recipes, suggestions, and ideas. So we've all been there at the beginning. I didn't know any of this when I first got started, and now I've learned and do. We use oils every single day. We have a WhatsApp group as well, where you can get relevant oily tips, recipes, resources. We have lots. So our team has kind of got all our leaders or people doing the business side, and they will invite you. And then we have our Instagram page. And by the way, a quick note on that, this is a referral-based business. So anyone who invited you tonight and said, oh, you know, you should watch this or you can learn more, please refer back to them. They would be glad and honored to take care of you.